Hey, so today I'm going to go and dive into gratitude. I really want to kind of explain why it's such a powerful thing and why I believe, and I've said this before, that it has changed my life. And hopefully, something that I say can help in the process of changing yours as well. So, thank you so much for being here. I am Rachel, and I'm a coach and a mentor. Let's just make it plain and simple. You could say that I'm a transformational coach, mindset coach. I am a mentor to most and a coach to some. And I concentrate on spirituality, positivity, faith, and belief, and all of those subjects are wrapped up in my belief in God and how I believe that God wants nothing but the ultimate and the best for each and every one of us. So let's get into gratitude. So I believe that gratitude is the ultimate state of receiving. And I don't think that I've ever said it like that before. I'm just like, you need to, and not really going into an explanation of why. So I have said this several times before on this channel that gratitude changed and flipped and shifted my whole entire life. And I've also spoken about the struggles that I had in the very beginning, and that was mostly because of my own personal mindset and where I was in my grieving process. And so one thing that I can say is that gratitude, it just expands your perception. So most of the time when I'm talking about gratitude, I say find 3 to 5 things to be grateful for. But tonight I'm going to make it a little bit simpler. Like, if you can just find one thing to be grateful for each day. We're talking about each day now. Now, there's nothing wrong if you skip or whatever the case may be, but you can't expect the results if you don't do this every day. But if you shift your mind to just one thing, then as time goes on, you will start to feel differently, because every day you're thinking of things to be grateful for, and you're expanding your mind to think of something different every single day. So now you're in a practice of gratitude, right? And so eventually, as time goes on, something happens and you start to invoke the law, right? And so now you are bringing things into existence through your gratitude. Does that make sense? So I am so happy and grateful now that I have a brand new car. I am so happy and so grateful that I closed on my house. I am so happy and so grateful that I received a raise at my job. I'm so happy and so grateful that I got new clients. I got 5 new clients in this month. I am so happy and so grateful that my children made all A's this semester. I am so happy and so grateful that my children are safe and covered and protected. I am so happy and so grateful that I'm dating a new guy or dating a new girl, and they are amazing. I'm so happy and so great. I mean, do you get it? Whether or not these things are, some of these things, like for your children, this is something that I'm assuming that you pray for your children. So that's just a given, right? But you're speaking these things into existence as if they are, right? Because maybe you haven't gotten a raise, or maybe you haven't gotten a promotion, but you're speaking it into existence. And therefore, the more that you say it, because repetition is very important, but the more that you say it, the more you start to believe it, and the more those feelings, those emotions, you invoke the law, and you start attracting to you whatever it is that you're grateful for. Isn't that amazing? Now, mind you, when I was writing my gratitude journal, in my gratitude journal, or writing 3 to 5 things to be grateful for, I didn't even have any idea of any of this. I just wanted to feel better. It's just that simple. I just wanted to feel better. So the more, if you do not stop being grateful, so that means if you keep going and keep going and keep going, again, you're going to invoke the law, and you're going to be a vibrational match for what it is that you're stating that you're grateful for. That's what happens. So the practice in the very beginning is, let's just find one thing, and then maybe you move up to 3 to 5 things, and then you start invoking the law, and you start bringing in more things. And so the more that you're doing this practice, the more that you are seeing manifestations of the things that you're grateful for. And so once you become a vibrational match, what happens is that you just grow into gratitude. You just grow into a grateful person. So, for example, that means that I'll give you a personal example. And I know this might sound a little crazy, but I can't remember what year this was, but every other state made so much fun of us. So I was living in Atlanta, and we had this really big ice storm, and I was working in Midtown. And so I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to finish this up. Everybody was like, go home, go home, go home. I think I left at like 10 or so, 10 a.m. in the morning to go home. I literally lived maybe 20 minutes away, probably not that between 15 and 20 minutes away. It took me 10 hours to get home. 10 hours I was in my car. And the whole entire time that I was in my car, I was just grateful that I had gone to get gas the day before, because I listened to my intuition. My intuition told me to get gas that day. And I didn't need gas. I could have used it or whatever, but I didn't necessarily need gas. But I listened to my intuition. And that next day, I sat on the interstate for 10 hours. Was it 10 or 12? I can't remember whether it was 10 or 12, but I sat on the interstate for 10 hours, and I was not mad. I was not upset. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I wasn't sleepy. I wasn't tired. I was listening to music. I was talking on the phone to my friends. Like, I just made it what it was. Like, there were times that it was kind of scary and concerning, because there were cars like spinning out of control around me. My car was perfect. I didn't have any issues, any problems. And I remember when I got home, and even during that time, like, the different people were calling me from all over, like New York, New Jersey, like North Carolina. Like, I have friends everywhere, right? They were calling me because I think I had posted on like Facebook or something that was on the interstate, and how long I had been on the interstate. I'm sure everybody was doing the same thing at that time, but I'm just saying that because of this practice, and because of, other things that I was doing, I didn't panic. I didn't get into like the drama of what it was. The only time that I really was scared is when I got off the interstate, because the interstate was full of ice. But when I got off the interstate, I was like, okay, nobody's been out here. It's not like, so on the interstate, I didn't have any issues. I didn't have no sliding, no nothing. But when I got off the interstate, I was like, am I gonna slide? Am I gonna, like, because you know, I'm paranoid at this point, because there's like, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I was just grateful the whole time. But that one thing I was really grateful for, and that was getting gas the day before. So anyway, I've gone on a tangent with that story. Okay, so you grow into the gratitude, and it no longer is like, you know, a thing that you're grateful for. You're just grateful for everything. And that's why I was telling the story. So, like, for example, let's forget the ice storm. Let's just say you're in traffic. You know, you might just be grateful because you have a car. You might be grateful because, like, you have gas in your car, or whatever the case may be, right? You're in line at the grocery store, and you just might be grateful because you have money to buy groceries, right? Or the gas station, like you drive up to the gas station to get gas, and you're just grateful that you have, you know, enough to pay for the gas, or you have money for gas, or, you know, that you can even buy gas. Like, those kind of things are what happens, because once you start doing the practice, you get into, you know, the receiving mode. Eventually what happens is that you get into this state of gratefulness, the state of thanksgiving, the state of appreciation for everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's an amazing, it's just an amazing way of being. And so the way that you expand that is just ask, like, is this the best that it could ever get? Or, you know, is there anything better than this? Or questions like that, like if you want to take it further. But I just wanted to, I hope I didn't confuse you or anything with that long drawn out story, but I just wanted to kind of not necessarily give you the steps, but give you a reason as to why, you know, people are like, oh, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Like, it's an actual thing that, you know, a lot of people talk about manifestation and things of that nature, but I don't really want to concentrate on that. I just want you to understand the purpose and the reason why it is such a big deal. But besides all of those things, like besides attracting things to you and things of that nature, for me, I literally just wanted to feel better. I had been mourning for years, and I literally just wanted to feel better. I don't want to be negative. I didn't want to be gossiping. I didn't want to, I just didn't want to do a lot of the things that I was doing. I didn't want to feel bad. And the more that I talked about the things that I was grateful for, the more I started thinking about more and more things that I was grateful for. How blessed I was. How blessed I was. You know, as a single mom, there were lots of different struggles, and obviously I was mourning and things of that nature, but there were people that were doing worse than I was. You know what I mean? And so it's like, when you think about, you know, you have food on the table. Me and my children cooked dinner every night, sat down at the dinner table, talked about our day, things of that nature. Like, sometimes those things don't happen. I would tell my kids often, like, eat your food, because I'm sure that you have friends that you go to school with that don't get to eat like this, or don't get to sit down at the table, or maybe not even have the luxury of seeing their parents when they get home from school, or whatever the case may be. Like, be appreciative of the food that is being put in front of you, the time that you have with your family, things of that nature. So yeah, I'm always, and this is because of this practice. I mean, obviously there's other things that I do as well, but this is how I started, with gratitude. And so I just want you to know how powerful it is. It really is the ultimate state of receiving. It is training your subconscious mind. The more that you practice it, the more that you say, the more grateful you are, the more you're attracting to yourself. It's amazing. So I just wanted to share that, and I hope that this video explains why all the other videos were so like, you need to do this, you need to do this. Because what I hope for everyone is that they can receive all of the desires of their heart. And from what I know, and from what I personally have experienced, when you speak things as they are, they have no choice but to come to you. So the more that you speak them, the more that you'll believe them, the more that your mindset will change, the more that your actions and things of that nature will change as well. So I hope something that I said excited you, made you want to start it. And let's just start with one. Let's just start with one thing. Just one. I am so happy and so grateful now that I thought I had an affirmation for you guys, but I don't have it in front of me. So I'm going to end right here. I thank you so much for listening to me. Have a great one. I'll see you tomorrow.